Okay, so this is the solution sheet for Mad Minutes 28. Okay, so again, I said if you're doing geometry, you need to act like a geometry detective. Okay, so look at everything in the drawing. Okay, so as you can see over here, we have two given angles, 50 and 140. Okay, so you can choose a different ways of solving this. Okay, so let's do it step by step. So you see over here, this two you can use to solve for A. Okay, because these two angles are supplementary angles. Okay, and we know that supplementary angles, or SA, equals 180. So under equation, you need to put in that A plus 140 equals 180. This tells me that you know that when you add the supplementary angles A and 140, they will give you a total of 180 degrees. So your solution is A plus 140 equals 180 minus 140 minus 140. A is equal to 40. Reason being supplementary angles equal 180. Okay, so now we know that A is 40. How can we solve for B? Okay, so there are two ways of solving for B. The first way is, okay, so this is way number one. You can use internal angles of a triangle equals 180. Okay, so that means A plus B plus 50. Okay, A plus B plus 50 equals 180. Okay, so what is A? We know A is 40. B is what we're looking for, plus 50 equals 180. So that is B plus 90 equals 180 minus 90 minus 90. B is equal to 90. Now, a lot of you told me and answered it this way. B is 90 degrees because it is, okay, it's a right angle. How do you know it's a right angle? Okay, how do you know it's a right angle? Just because it looks like a right angle does not mean it's a right angle. You need to prove it, okay? Or there should have been this sign, you know, the tiny square sign. If that was there, then you can assume it's a right angle. Or if the instructions say, angle B is a right angle, then you can assume it's 90. But it did not say anything. So this reasoning is wrong. You cannot just look at it and assume or think it's right angle. You have to prove it. And this is the proof. You calculated it, okay? And it turned out to be 90. So please do not assume. I told you so many times, do not assume. You need to prove it. It needs to be said in the instructions, or there needs to be this right angle sign. If none of those three are present, then you cannot assume that is 90. Okay? I just want to make that very clear. So, this is proof 1. Okay, so A plus B plus 50 equals 180 because internal angles of a triangle. And there is your solution. Okay, there is the solution. Another way of solving for this is to use, okay, external angle of a triangle. This is the external angle, okay? And we know external angle of the triangle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles, okay? Okay, so that means 140 is equal to 50 plus B, okay? Because 140 is the exterior angle and the opposite interior angle are these two, 50 and B. So 140 equals 50 plus B. Okay? And now minus 50 minus 50, B is equal to 90. Okay, so there are two ways you could have gotten 90. The other way is 140 equals 50 plus B, and the reason, external angle of a triangle. And the solution is there. Okay, so that is for the first question. Let's go to the second question. Now again, what shape do you see here? Okay, this is a parallelogram. Okay, and you know that parallelograms, opposite angles are equal. Opposite angles are equal. Okay, please, a lot of you used vertical angles. No, these are not vertical angles. These are opposite angles. Okay, so a lot of you who put VA, I'm not accepting that, because this is the reasoning. Okay, but before that, you need to figure out first what C is equal to. What is C equal to? Okay, how do you do that? Of course, you need to look at what you can use, and you can see over here that C is supplementary to 60. Okay, so we know C plus 60 equals 180 because it's supplementary. Okay, so you need to put that there. C plus 60 equals C plus 60 equals 180 because they are supplementary angles. Okay, that's why C is equal to 120. A lot of you just said A and C is 120, but you did not tell me how you got 120. You need to tell me how you got 120, okay? And then the next thing you do, okay, A is equal to C. A is equal to 120. Why? Because parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. Okay? So that is the solution for A. You need to tell me where you got the 120. Okay? Now, how do you solve for B? So if this is A, if that's 120, this is 120. So there are many ways to solve for B. Okay? One thing we know that B and D are equal because they are parallelograms. So some of you used internal angles of quadrilateral equal 360. So if B and D are equal, we can just say it's B also. So the equation would be 120 plus 120 plus B plus B. And the solution would equals 360. The solution would be 240 plus 2B equals 360. Again, it's 2B because opposite angles on a parallelogram are equal. So I can just say this is B and I can rename D to B because they are the same. Or you can make B into D, whatever. But they are congruent. They are the same, okay? That's why you ended up with 120 plus 120 plus B, internal angles of a quadrilateral, okay? So you have minus 240 minus 240. So 2B is equal to 120 divided by 2 divided by 2. B is equal to 60, okay? And the reasoning is internal angles of a quadrilateral. Okay, now there's another way of doing this. Some of you did it this way. So these two lines are parallel. So this is a transversal. Okay, so what's the relationship between A and B? A and B are consecutive interior angles. And consecutive interior angles total 180. So A plus B equals 180. A is 120 plus B equals 180 minus 120 minus 120. B is equal to 60. So you got the same thing. Another way of looking at it, if this was your, okay, if this was your parallel lines, okay, and this is your transversal, okay, B and 60 are corresponding angles, okay? So corresponding angles are equal. That's why 60 is equal to B. So 3 ways of solving for B. Okay? So I'm going to leave you with 2 ways. I don't want to confuse you more, but there are some of you who used consecutive interior and corresponding angles. And that's very good use of transversals in solving problems that involve quadrilaterals. Okay? So hopefully this helps you with solution sheet 28. Okay? Bye-bye.